So today I am joined by Lindsay Levin and Nick Hernandez with Fluresh.
You can unmute, by the way, guys. So
Yes, you can unmute because we do want to hear you. Yesterday I had the opportunity to go tour their facility, and holy moly, I am very, very impressed. And as I mentioned earlier, I was a part of the efforts to get Grand Rapids to opt in, and it took a lot of work. We had to pretty much threaten a ballot initiative to get them to opt in to just medical cannabis. And as soon as we started collecting signatures and moving forward and getting funding and stuff, then Grand Rapids kind of put the brakes on and said, okay, we'll talk about this. And so, having the opportunity to walk into a facility like this after all that work, I mean, it just really was so exciting to see that happening in Grand Rapids, because I love Grand Rapids, and sometimes it can be a very, very stubborn community. So I appreciate them. And actually, Mike, if you want to let me share my screen, I'll show you guys a little snapshot of a picture that I took, because you can see that I'm wearing a mask, okay? But I guarantee I was smiling pretty big behind this picture. But today, so we have Lindsay Levin, who is in charge of the marketing and branding at Fluresh. And then we have Nick Hernandez, who operates the store. He came to us in Michigan from Colorado. We're happy to have him here. And so first of all, I'm going to ask both of you to tell us a little bit about your background pre-cannabis. What were you doing in, for a career before you got into the cannabis industry? And Lindsay, we'll start with you.
Well, Jamie, thank you so much for having us. It's nice to see you again. And Rick, Mike, and Patty, nice to meet you. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you. I love this industry. So I'm one of the outsiders. I came from the food world. So prior to being part of Fluresh, I was part of RX Bar, which is a protein bar company. And before that, worked for PepsiCo on the Quaker Oats brand. And joined this company because I think cannabis is fascinating. I think there's such a multitude of uses for so many different people. And I was excited about starting a company that was going to do it the right way. We have two large facilities, one in Adrian, which you haven't been to that one, but we'd love for you to come. It's a large operation where we do a majority of our growing and our processing. Then we have our beautiful Grand Rapids facility, which has an indoor grow, as well as the first medical and recreational cannabis retail center in Grand Rapids. And our company has a beautiful blend of cannabis expertise, consumer packaged goods expertise, and we have a lot of other backgrounds. And we were excited about bringing a brand to the Michigan market that could help elevate the experience and celebrate the diversity of cannabis for real life. So I oversee marketing and sales for the company, and I joined when we were about 3 employees, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity. We're really proud of the facilities and the retail center, but really of also the brand that we've built. And you got a taste of that, so I was really excited, Mike, that you mentioned beverages. And I'll save that for later, Jamie. I'm sure you're going to ask about it, but I was just thrilled to be able to jump in about that. So we spell our name a little funny. It's Fluresh, F-L-U-R-E-S-H. So I encourage everyone to check us out on our website. And if you're in Grand Rapids, to come by our facility. So Nick, I'd love to have you introduce yourself as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you all for having me. I've been in cannabis for about 10 years now. I moved out from Colorado in 2019 to join the industry out here, and been with Fluresh since about the middle of May of this year. It's been phenomenal working with this team, working for this company as well. Again, we just opened up recreational about 2 weeks ago. We were blessed to be the first ones in Grand Rapids to start to be able to sell adult use. So we're very excited about that, and keeping on, and really bringing our products to the entire population of Grand Rapids. So it's been very exciting. Pretty much before the industry, I was EMT and had my CNA, so from the medical field. made a bit of a jump from there, and been in cannabis ever since, and absolutely love it. So very excited to be with Fluresh, very excited to be offering medical and recreational in Grand Rapids. It's a wonderful community. We do quite a bit of community outreach. We are very in tune with the Black and Brown Cannabis Guild, and getting all of the community outreach out there and really helping out. So it's an exciting time to be out here, and we're blessed to be a part of it.
Nick, so tell us a little bit about opening weekend for adult use. How was it in Grand Rapids? And also, did the community seem to be very accepting to it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we had a really awesome turnout. I think, day one, we had just over 700 people. With COVID and everything, we really took some extra precautions. We put up some tents outside. Unfortunately, for the time being, every adult use order has to be placed online and curbside only, just because we still have some pretty big restrictions on capacity in the store. We want to make sure everybody's staying distant, staying safe. So we put up quite a few tents, and we're doing the e-commerce, and everybody adjusted to it very well. We had a wonderful turnout. We had some wonderful feedback. We pushed about 700 people through, so we had great waiting times. Nobody waited more than about 30-40 minutes, and we were very well received. It was an exciting time.
Can I ask you real quick, are you in Grand Rapids proper or one of the suburbs?
Grand Rapids, just pretty much downtown, right off 131 and Hall is where we're located.
Yeah, okay. I'm from the area originally, so.
Incredible location. I mean, right off of 131. It really is. And, old industrial building. And boy, like when you drive up to it, it's just absolutely beautiful. And then when you walk into there, it's just like the storefront is beautiful. Their facility was beautiful. So Nick, tell us a little bit about an experience a consumer will get when they visit Fluresh.
So right now for the adult side, you do have to place your orders online. So you can just go to fluresh.com/shop. From there, once you put an item into your cart, it'll ask you to log in or sign up. Once you do sign up, you just take a picture of your ID, and then we verify it when you're on site. But from there, once you place an order, you'll receive a text message, and it's all pretty much automated, but you can actually text back that number and ask your patient advisor about any questions for your product, any dosing information, anything you need about any products that we have, whether it be testing information or anything like that. So our system is definitely built to accommodate for, the distance and curbside as well. So from that experience, I mean, you get text messages throughout the entire process. You'll get a message as soon as your order's packed and ready. We do offer a couple cashless payment options. We have cashless ATMs coming online very soon. We're looking about a couple weeks out on those. We do use Trees Pay as well, which is kind of like Venmo, and we also accept cash. So from those, you can follow the link, pay for your order, and it's a pretty quick and painless process.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
All new customers receive 20% off of Fluresh branded products. And as you saw, Jamie, the facility itself is near and dear to me because I helped design the interior of it. And it's a really beautiful experience, a ton of space, a ton of light. So right now we take medical appointments only because COVID, we can only have 16 people in the store, including staff. So we can't have too many people in the store. But whenever that lifts and it's safe to do so, we would love to welcome adult consumers into the store and really experience that beautiful bright light and lots of space and be able to look and play around with the product. So
they do have a really great flow. I got to see it yesterday. They had a line of cars the entire time I was there, and they were moving through really quickly. They did a really good job at servicing the patients, and such a great space. Now, Lindsay, tell us a little bit about what went into building the Fluresh brand. Was there a specific demographic that you guys were trying to target?
Well, yes, we wanted to demonstrate that cannabis is not a one-size-fits-all experience. It's not the incoherent experience portrayed in the past or an overly medical product that's only designed for medical use. And so part of the brand experience is meant to celebrate that diversity of both cannabis as well as wellness needs for patients or adults. And so our brand is all about that. And it's also meant to elevate the experience. So it feels very, I would say, controlled in a way, but also very variable, which celebrates the diversity of life. So every strain or every specific blend has its own unique pattern, which we believe helps to represent what the cannabis experience is, because it is so nuanced, right? One edible is different than another, one strain is different than another, and I don't think you can try to classify them and put them all in one big bucket. And so that's what we really try to celebrate with this brand, and also some of the serious and professionalism that we're taking to it. So we've got a really strong team. We have amazing security and quality controls in place. We have an excellent R&D team, and our brand is meant to feel that way. It's meant to feel professional, like you're really taking home a product that you can enjoy or it can help you, and you feel confident in that choice.
Let's talk a little bit about those products. You know, specifically, I want to talk about this drink enhancer. Amazing, such a great idea. And you guys also have these awesome soft gels as well.
Yeah. Jamie, I'm so glad you brought those up. So we have a large collection as part of the Fluresh collection. So we have our single origin products, which are strain specific, and that's more traditional, right? Your pre-rolls or your eighths. And then we also have some concentrates, and we have beautiful live resin vapes. But one of the things that we're really excited about is the experience that our team has brought in order to create really innovative products. So the drink enhancer is one that we're really excited about. It comes in 2 varieties: Good Vibes, which is 10 milligrams of THC per dose, and then Chill Out, which is a 1-to-1 ratio between CBD and THC. And these products are awesome. All you do is you drop it into your favorite drink, or we have a few different drink recipes that we made for the summer. We're working on some hot drink recipes for the winter right now. And it's really portable. It's convenient. It's discreet. It's easy to use and easy to customize. And we really believe that's the future of cannabis, is something that is customized, controlled, dosed, and personalized. And I think the fast acting drink enhancer really does that. It also the onset time is at about 15 minutes or so. So it truly is fast acting, and it's tasteless. So while Michigan works through the larger scale beverages, this is a really unique product. It's only about this big. So it's easy to customize and to carry. Our soft gels are more therapeutic in nature. So we worked really hard on creating 4 targeted soft gels that we call our Be Well soft gels. And then we have a Recover SKU that includes THC, CBD, and THCA. We also have our Calm SKU, which is a mix of CBD and THC in a various ratio. And then we have our Relief, which is higher THC with some CBD for pain. And then our Rescue, which includes CBN as well as THC and CBD for sleep. These are also fast acting. They take action in around 15 minutes or so. Again, customized and controlled dosage options. And we've gotten great feedback on this. I think capsules and gel caps are a really small percentage of the market. They're, it's a micro piece of the market. But I think as more and more consumers come in and are looking for target effects and therapeutic relief that they can control, these are an excellent option. And the feedback we've gotten from people who've tried these are phenomenal. So a little bit of a different angle than some of the more classic products, but I think something really innovative that Fluresh can bring to the market.
Jamie, if you don't mind, I want to leap in here real quick and ask Patty. Patty has more of a national perspective. Is what she's talking about, is that playing out nationally, or is it more regional, or what do you think?
Well, I sign a couple of NDAs a week. There's a lot going on. I think the drink market's coming. We messed with it in the marijuana side. Like somebody said, having the infrastructure, refrigeration, and the shelf life. People have been doing it. I'd be curious to know if the material is water soluble, if they're using isolate or if they're using distillate. And again, canning and all that. I think a lot of people have stayed away from it because they haven't had the manufacturing side. I happen to know some people that are bottling in Michigan and in Indiana. Bottling is expensive. Glass is expensive. I personally can't stand cans. But, again, it's just, that I can't stand the plastic everything's in either. I think it's absurd. It should all be made out of at least half of it hemp. So But I see that across the country, edibles are huge. Edibles are off the hooks. I think everybody's picking those over anything else. If you aren't a flower person, edibles are next. The drinks have been down the bottom of the poll for a while. It sounds like they're coming back up. And again, it's about the uptake, the taste. I hear nothing but poor reviews on taste. The water people were out first. They all thought, they had water soluble isolate, and they didn't. It was junk. It gets cloudy. It tastes yet funny. So all of those things that are being adapted, whether you're trying to make an Oreo cookie or a brand new Coca-Cola, getting it the same every single time without vertical integration and touching it is next to impossible. Next to impossible. And then if you start doing licensing agreements with people that don't follow your SOPs, I know 2 national companies that sold SOPs to people trashed their name. Yeah. So I think you really careful who you let carry your brands too. I don't know, Michigan, other dispensaries carry Fluresh's unique items that you carry, or are you restricted only to your dispensary?
So the majority of our business is selling to dispensaries or retail or provisioning centers, what they call them, across the state. We only have one, which is this beautiful store that Nick oversees. We don't license out our products. We control the complete build out of them, and that's really important to us. I mean, we have great R&D folks that come from awesome backgrounds. I would love for you, when you can, to come to Michigan and try this product, because it's phenomenal. It's really, really cool. We've gotten great feedback, people putting in coconut water and these interesting recipes, and it's really unique. We use some special technology for it, and that's why it is so small and so concentrated. It's not a large scale beverage, because there are issues with producing those. So
I'm going to be up in Grand Rapids for Thanksgiving visiting family, so maybe I could get a sample, and then we can talk about it on air or something.
That'd be great.
Bye, Mike. We'd be happy to have you.
All right, thanks. Hey, let's open it up now. We got about 20 minutes left, and I'd like to just have this be free form. We can talk about whatever topics you want. We can continue to talk about what we have been talking about. What y'all want to talk about?
Well, can I ask a quick question about the dispensaries? I'm fascinated about the differences of each state, your provision centers. Are dispensaries letting, under normal circumstances, no COVID, would they be able to go in and see jars of flour, or is everything prepackaged in Michigan?
So this one's a little bit weird. I know in Colorado, I've done like deli style stores, run, pretty much the variety there. Every store in Michigan can have them in jars. They just need to be secured to cases. They can't be, consumers
can't take them out
away without them. Yes. So, I've seen a wide variety of, different containers for them. We've seen, the Kush, the Bud Bar displays, things like that. A lot of people have used, but for the most part, everybody's kind of going over to prepackaged. We do have a wonderful line of prepackaged flour as well. We love to offer that to other dispensaries as well on the wholesale side, but in our provisioning center, we prepack everything. We've gone through, and I've been involved with quite a few shops in the past, and deli style, there's quite a few contamination issues, as well as dry weight loss and things like that. So we're seeing more of a shift towards prepackaged, and we're very excited to be able to offer prepackaged flour as well for not just our provision center, but the entire state of Michigan.
I just think it's regional and kind of local too, and culturally, but I understand your point of view. I like to go in and touch it and feel it. But again, you have those jars that you're allowed to do that to, and not, go against the other ones. But I was just curious how you guys are running it there.
One of the challenges we have in Michigan is trying to recruit people from the legacy market, from the illegal market, into the recreational or the regulated market. And one of the fails, and I'm not trying to criticize it all, but one of the big fails that dispensaries and provisioning centers do is they prepackage things. The folks that are used to the illegal market are used to being able to smell it and touch it. They decide the value of the cannabis by their inspection of it, not necessarily just by the strain name that they see on a screen that's displayed above a counter. So I can appreciate that sometimes there's a simplicity involved. My background is retail store management. I have 2 decades of retail store management. I can tell you that oftentimes people come in and they see something that displeases them, and they just turn around and walk right out. So it's a delicate balance between the deli style, because there is some loss based on humidity, and there's some other issues, versus the prepackaging. The other thing I'm questioning, or I have a little issue with, was when you define cannabis based on its effect, like this is the calm cannabis and this is the active cannabis, when you're not really talking about terpene profiles, when you're defining those things simply based on CBD and THC content, and yet as a consumer, I know that you're probably rotating several different strains within that calm lineup, which means, in my mind, inconsistency. Can you assure me in some way that when I'm going into calm, that I'm going to get the same thing in June that I'm going to get in September?
No, you can't. And I was going to say, you can call it anything you want. I can't believe the different names that they give all the strains. Like Blue Dream in Michigan is not going to be the Blue Dream I get in Colorado, right? And the percentages, I do secret shopping, consulting. One of the first questions or second question, first question is, where's the one with the highest percentage? They just want to get high. And number two is, what was the other one I was going to say? Really just want to know how high they can get. And it's, again, you have to educate them. Your culture guys coming in to get high, or one person's coming in to get medicine, whatever it is. So I think you got to be able to attack all of it. I want to bite a whole apple, not just one bite.
Yeah, and Rick, that was your comment. That's really something that we thought a lot about as we were designing our packaging for Fluresh. So we specifically decided to include strain names and backgrounds and things like that, and celebrate them with these various patterns and things, because we didn't want everything just to be so bucketed, because really it's how it interacts with the user as well. And so that's a piece that we really, really thought a lot about. We saw a lot of brands that had moved only to these, relaxed, uplifting, bipolar.
They divide the entire cannabis world into 4 easy to define segments, which is really not how cannabis is in the first place, right?
And I think that's a really good, so we do that with some of our extracted products, like this drink enhancer, because it doesn't have all of the terpenes and things like that with it. But for our flower forward products that are single origin, we really focus on making sure we are clear on what they are. But I think that begs the larger question around classification for cannabis, and having a common lexicon and common system that we all use to talk about the product. Some people, like to your point, Patty, are just focused on THC. Others talk a lot about terpenes. Others say indica doesn't mean anything, right? So there's all this different nomenclature. There's no common body that's sort of bringing that together. Leafly launched theirs, but it's sort of hard to manage. So I don't have the solution for it, but it would be great as all of these states, going back to your original point, Mike, start to bring on cannabis. One of the things I think that's going to be wonderful from either federal legalization or from these states getting together is working through, how do we classify, what's the nomenclature we use, just like you use in food, right? And everyone understands what fat, calories, and sugar are. So how do we bring a similar professionalism and classification to something so complicated?
Well, the USDA is going to tell us, I think, soon.
They are crafting new rules, especially for hemp.
You know what, Rick, I have a question you probably maybe can answer. One of the issues I deal with on an everyday basis, whether it's hemp or marijuana, are the testing. The testing results and the COAs, the discrepancies between even my full panel tests. How is Michigan doing on their test passing skills? And how many are not passing is what I'm interested in knowing, because I'm interested in knowing on the practices and methods. I'm not necessarily all organic, but who's growing with what, and are they passing these full panel tests?
Well, testing in Michigan is more stringent than it is in other states. We have a lot of things that are disqualifiers that really are not even measured in other places. But Michigan, recognizing that they have a tough testing program, has allowed cannabis retailers or cannabis manufacturers to remediate their crops. If it fails for certain reasons under certain circumstances, they're allowed to affect it by means of a CO2 wash or some of the other things they can do in order to give it a second opportunity. They've also scaled down the testing standards several times since they were originally introduced in 2016 through the MMFLA program. When we drafted the law for the marijuana legalization program, the MRTMA, we were struggling with this particular issue too. Do we establish new testing standards, and decided to just mimic the standards that we're already experienced in the medical, because otherwise it's just too difficult. So there's really an advanced testing system here in Michigan, but there's still a lot of failures. The MRA does publish a list of destroyed plants, and oftentimes the number of destroyed plants in Michigan is equivalent to the number of plants currently under cultivation. So.
I'm not that surprised, but I don't like to hear about destruction. I think everything should be remediated. My farmers who go hot on the hemp, nothing should be destroyed, and there should be zero waste in my world as well. So
I cannot imagine the frustration one would feel after spending an entire year, an entire growing season to create this wonderful crop of we had 18 footers here in Michigan, literally 18-foot hemp plants. And yes. to have that come down, and because some lab says you have 0.31 instead of 0.30, now all of a sudden,
yeah,
that would hurt your soul.
And depending on how they took the test, who took the test, and what lab it went to, and I can send it to 3 different labs, and I'm going to get 3 different results. Yeah. So well, again, it's very frustrating.
From your perspective, Fluresh, are you seeing concerns regarding the testing industry with supply chain issues? In Michigan, we are experiencing some significant supply chain fluctuations. A lot of people coming online, not a lot of product to satisfy that. Yeah. Is testing really slowing down your supply chain issues, Nick?
I think that's more of a Lindsay question, so I'll let her take the lead on that. But I'll follow up on the provisioning center side of things as well, because it does play a role.
Yeah, I think we have worked really closely with some of the testing facilities in the state and at creating great relationships. And, you know, at the beginning, I think it was a little bit slower. I think it's getting better every day. And we're, you know, continuing to work through the challenges. But honestly, I think now we've gotten to a much better spot than we were several months ago. And I think we're on a really good cadence and schedule with the testing facilities. We've got good relationships with them. We only work with ones that are very reputable and that will make sure that our products are safe for consumers and for patients. So I think it's a growing part of the industry, and I think it's getting better all the time.
Well, and I don't think we only have one testing lab on the west side of the state, and that's the spot down in the Kalamazoo area. So we're still lacking a lot of testing opportunities over.
I was going to say, I thought there was like 5 in the state. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I mean, even from like Colorado standards when I was there as well, I mean, we talked before about the categorization of individual product and, you know, trying to have a universal measure for this. I think it also goes into the testing facilities. I mean, I've been to hundreds of labs over the course of my career, and they all come up with different results. They all have different protocols, different practices. So, I mean, really finding reputable labs to go through is you know, paramount to what we do. And you really have to build those awesome relationships. And like you said, with Michigan only having 6, there's very few options. You know, the biggest thing on the PC side that we see is, you know, vertical integration is paramount. It's, you know, those are the companies that really have a steady supply of products. And we're very happy that, you know, we can provide our own steady supply of quality product to maintain our consistency and maintain our quality. You see, you know, a lot of other facilities or a lot of other companies who do not have cultivation, and they're trying to source product, and they're, you know, having a tough time getting product that's consistent to what they're trying to create. So
where is your grow facility? I saw some pictures of it, but I didn't know where it was at.
We have one in Adrian and then one attached to the provisioning center in Grand Rapids.
Really?
Huh. I have a question. And Grand Rapids is coming online very soon. Yeah, Patty?
I was curious about pricing. I'm hearing that price per pound on wholesale rec is going somewhere over $4,000 a pound. Is that true?
It has been that high, yes. It may currently not be quite up there, but up to 45.
Oh man, I had a guy wanted distillate. He was going to pay $35,000 for 60. A kilo. Shut up.
For a liter. 60 for a liter.
Oh my God. Okay. I want to go in business there. I mean, geez, those are old days for us, you know. Yep. That's crazy.
You know, I remember being in Denver at $2,000 a pound, and it was so glorious. And then when I left in 2019, it was at about $800-900 a pound.
I was going to say I got it for $700. Yeah, and it was fire at $700. You know, it was painful to watch. But I have one more question, because I'm always my buyers are always asking for the best of the best of the best. So is Fluresh certified GMP on any of their extraction facilities? And are you guys organic or organic certified, or not certified, but practices?
Yeah, so we are working on, we've got amazing operations people who come from really large, great large scale facilities, and we understand what GMP is. And we're working towards really fantastic protocols, and we operate with them right now. So that is something that is really important to us. And as far as our I'm not the cultivation technician, so I can't speak to all of our everything that we do, but we have a proprietary process. We blend all of our own nutrients in-house, and we use coco coir, which is an organic, renewable, natural fiber for growing. It's environmentally friendly and efficient, and pesticide. It doesn't have to use pesticide. So we're really pay attention to the quality of our grow and our plants, and it's really, really important to us. So I can assure you that there's no stone that goes unturned when it looks at quality